What's going on, guys? ProModSin back with the next episode of our Sin Challenge. I think this is episode 23 or 24, 22, something like that. I don't remember. And I know I'm terrible at remembering, but sorry about that. It's not a big deal to me. Anyways, so I did some off-screen training, got pretty much everyone except for Lumbre up to 32, Graveler's at 33, Lumbre's stuck at 28, and so far he's terrible, and I probably shouldn't have got him. But anyways, so Stoner Chick learned Quick Attack over Scratch, and that's pretty much the only thing new with him. Magnemite evolved into Magneton, and he didn't learn anything new. So he's still a good choice for the next gym. Zubat evolved into Golbat, and so far he has not. He learned Confuser over Supersonic and Wing Attack over Astonish, I think it was. He still hasn't evolved into Crobat, which I'm very sad about. Hopefully that'll be soon. Oh, I should have just gone down. Lumbre is at 28 now and learned Fake Out. I think that's the only thing new. Maybe that's not even new. I'm not sure. And then Graveler didn't learn anything, but he's at 33. And then Vigoroth has not learned anything, and he's at 32. And that's it for everything, guys. So we're going to go ahead and continue on this challenge here. So, I put Stoner Chick out front because I kind of want her, not sure which one it is. Let's see, Breloom, oh crap. Alright, so it's a her. So I want her to evolve. Oh, and I get put to sleep. Are you kidding me right now? Alright, we'll send out Golbat. And you use a full restore, so I'll just wing attack you. But anyways, I want Stoner Chick to evolve pretty soon, just so I can get a Blaziken. And actually, because in my opinion, none of the starters are good until their last form. But that's just my opinion. Except for... Damn, what is it? What is the last evolution of Trico called? I can't remember, but that thing's still useless. In my opinion, of course. I think Swampert's a really solid choice. I just prefer Blaziken over Swampert. Mostly because there's not really any good other fire types, to be honest. Like, in this generation, there's like nothing. Why on earth is there a Goldeen in the grass? That doesn't make sense to me. Oh no, I was fighting somebody. Wow, I just got involved in my talk and didn't even realize it. But anyways, like, think about it. Torkoal is bad. Slugma and its evolution Magcargo, I think it is, they're bad. What else is there? Numel and Camprupt, or however you pronounce its evolution, not very good. I mean, in my opinion, it's better than the other two. Torkoal, especially in this generation, is a tank, don't get me wrong, but it has a really bad moveset. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it that's like available, like openly available in this generation. So yeah, I just go with Blaziken. I mean, with water Pokemon, you can pick Tentacool. This Tentacruel is actually like pretty good. It's got a pretty decent moveset. It's really bulky, so it's a good choice for one of these Let's Plays. And I'm put to sleep again. Let me see. If you really need a flying and you don't really care too much about the water type, then what is it? Wingull is a good option. That's a good option there. But Staryu and Starmie are really, really strong options. They have great movesets. And oh crap. And what was I gonna say? And also, it has really good stats. It has nice special attack, nice speed. It's really like a sweeper in the 3rd gen, in my opinion. I know not a lot of people used it in 3rd gen. At least the people I played. It was pretty popular from what I understand, but I never personally I'm not gonna say never. I didn't very often run into people actually using it. So I don't know. Oh, and before I forget, there were 2 questions. Well, 1.5, I would say, because one of them I'm not 100% sure if that was like a question to be put into this video or not. But I'm gonna throw it in there anyway in case any of you guys were also wondering it for some reason. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those up on the screen right now. And the first question is from Mr. Y Blaze, and it says "Laugh out loud" with a bunch of L's. And can't wait to see where this goes in the next video. And I like 15 minutes. What do you think of Digimon? I kind of want to try the online games. So I'm glad to see that you're excited for this video that I'm recording right now. That is very nice. I'm very glad to have those kind of loyal, and I guess that's the only term I can come up with, but loyal subscribers. It's very nice to hear. And to address the 15-minute part of the comments, I believe that is what I'm going to stay at, because it seems like it was pretty unanimous amongst the few people that did comment that around 15-minute mark, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, but around that 15-minute mark seems to be the best idea to keep the interest of the watchers or the viewers, and also to make sure it's not too short where you can't really get anything done. So, oh crap, and I timed this really bad because now we got to do some. So before I continue on with that, I'm gonna go ahead and heal in here, and I'm gonna do these trainer battles, but basically I'm just rescuing the Weather Institute. No big deal. So I'm stopping Aqua. But so I'll continue on with the question now. It says, what do you think of Digimon? That kind of depends. Digimon was awesome when I was a little kid, like when Pokemon was first out, you know, when I was younger. I would say my favorite season overall was season 1, and then my second favorite would be season 3, where they use those little card things. I thought it was a nice little addition that they brought to the table for season 3. Not a lot of people really liked Pokemon, or Digimon, sorry, I gotta mute this. I don't know who it is, and I don't care who it is. But anyways, it was something new and unique, and I thought that they implemented it pretty well in the 3rd season. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest, if you do like Digimon and you haven't seen season 3, go ahead and try to find it. Maybe on Netflix or something. I don't know. I don't have Netflix because to me it's kind of a waste because they're so behind on stuff. That's just, you know, it's just like if you're bored and you don't have anything to watch, I would suggest checking out at least the first, you know, like 4 or 5 episodes to give it a fair shot, because it's kind of slow in the beginning, just like with most shows. Season 2 was pretty strong. I don't know, I didn't really like I liked some of the stuff, but the first half was just really, really short, like slow for me. I didn't really like it until like the second half of the season. So that, you know, that could be another choice, but I felt that season 3 was a little bit more consistent in like keeping you like interested throughout the whole season. It probably wasn't as interesting like at its peak versus the peak of season 2, but I would say that it was more consistent. Definitely more consistent. And then I never watched really any of season 4 or 5 or whatever they're on now. I pretty much stopped after 3 because it just got a little bit too repetitive for me, and you know, in the games like Pokemon, the show itself got kind of repetitive for me, so I didn't really continue watching. And my phones keep going off. Anyways, yeah, so like I was saying, the shows got too repetitive, both Digimon and Pokemon, so I just stuck with the Pokemon games, and Digimon didn't really have any games that kept me like interested at that point. And so he says I kind of want to try the online games. I would be interested in at least looking at that. Maybe even do a few like episodes just talking about what it is and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. And then the next question here says it's from One Blackhawk Down 1, and it says 15 to 20 minutes is good. 10 minutes is way too short for an LP, which stands for Let's Play if you guys don't know. And with 20 minutes plus, it's possible to lose the interest, or it's just too long for some people, which is something that I just touched on a minute ago. and I completely agree with his reasoning for the 15-minute, maybe a little bit more mark. So that's what we'll go ahead and aim for from now on. And how did you get into competitive gaming, and how well did you I would assume did you do? I got into competitive gaming. I would say the first quote-unquote competitive thing I did was actually Pokemon, and that was when Red and Blue were out. I don't even think Yellow was out at the time, and just at my local mall they had a little little tournament kind of thing. There was like 200 or 300 people there. I got to the top 16, I believe. I don't know, I was like 11 or something like that, so it was a long time ago, so I don't really remember. Like I said, Yellow version I don't even think was out at that point, so this was a very long time ago. And it was really fun. It's just I didn't really know what to expect, and I was really young, so I didn't have like the strategy background and stuff like that. So it for a while it kind of got me a little bit discouraged. It was fun, but it was really discouraging at the same time, so I didn't go and do more of those until I was actually a senior in high school when Emerald came out. Water Sport or Water... No, I don't want Water Sport. No, screw that. Yes. Sorry. But when I was a senior in high school... Well, let's go back a few more years behind that. When I was a sophomore in high school... Oh, and for those of you who don't know, I'm 23 right now, and for those of you who are not in America, I don't know exactly how the system works outside of America for schooling years and stuff, but when I was a sophomore, I was 15, turning 16 near the end of the year, since my birthday's in April. So the story in here is apparently where they're going to Mount Pyre or whatever it's called, and he gave me a cast form. I don't really want it because I already have a normal type, but it kind of forced me. So sorry about that. I forgot all about cast form and to make an exception or something. Anyways, let me see. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this question, and then we're going to end the episode, because I think should I just go? I'm going to go Battle May and then finish up this question. So when I was a sophomore, I bought from one of my friends Pokemon Sapphire, and I hadn't played any of the third generation stuff. So I was really interested in at least trying it out. So I bought Sapphire, played a crap load of it, and then when I was a senior in high school, one of my friends was really, really into it. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll see what it's, I'll play Emerald and stuff. So I bought Emerald, and I freaking loved the game. I played way too much of it, to be completely honest with you. I have played like 600 or 700 hours on Emerald at least. So in my opinion, that's quite a bit. But that was over the last 7 years. I would say is how long it took me to play that much. But anyways, so at that point, he was really getting into the competitive part. Being really selective on what Pokemon he's choosing. He really got into the whole EV thing and the IV thing and the breeding, and he got really, really into it. And so he started teaching me about it, because I'm always really competitive with just about anything I do. Oh, and so she gave us Fly, by the way, HMO2. But anyways, so he taught me how to do it, how to breed, because what I started with is helping him breed, because it took so long to breed in these games, since you couldn't really, at that time, I didn't know, and I still don't know if you can, even now, like basically make your own Pokemon with a PokeSave, which is a nice little program for ROMs and stuff. I know that you can do it for these generation games, but I don't know if you can get them onto the game itself, like you can with DS and stuff like that. But anyways, so I was helping him breed. I was learning about IVs and the IV calculators and the EV training and all kinds of stuff like that. And then him and I sat down and we started we started to, talk about what kind of teams we wanted to build, what would be countered by what, all that stuff. We got really, really into it. And eventually we made a really, really, really strong team. And we didn't really do anything outside of ourselves until once I got my DS, because at the end of, I think it was towards the end of my senior year is when Diamond and Pearl came out, and we went and bought DS's pretty much right away, and we got Diamond. He got Pearl and I got Diamond for around right when it came out. And I'm going really over the time, but I'll make this a little bit longer of an episode because I'm enjoying this topic here. But anyways, so at that point we got into Diamond and Pearl. We had to basically start all over because of all the changes between 3rd gen and 4th gen. But we started to build more teams and stuff like that. Then we graduated high school, so we didn't really see each other as much, but we still kept in contact a little bit. And we tried to build some teams, and we were gonna really get into it, and then my DS got stolen. Yes, my DS got stolen with my 300-hour Pokemon Emerald, with my 150-hour Pokemon Diamond, because I'd only had it for 2 or 3 months or something like that. I played it a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I played the crap out of the game. I played that game at school because I had basically 2 free periods at that point, which maybe I'll talk about in another commentary. But I'm gonna switch because I think it's gonna explode again. But sorry, when I get distracted by stuff, I have a hard time getting back on topic. But so yeah, my DS got stolen, so I lost my Diamond and my Emerald and stuff like that. And at that point, I was just really mad, that someone stole my DS. I was like, who would really just steal someone's DS like that? I never found out who it was. I never got it back. And it was really, after a while, I stopped being mad, and I just kind of got out of, Pokemon and stuff like that. And then Platinum came out. I think Platinum came out, maybe a year after Diamond. I don't remember. But at that point, I still wasn't really into Pokemon, but after a while I had heard some really good things about Platinum, and I finally tried out Platinum, and I really liked it. And that was the point where I found a competitive Pokemon community that I got into, and me and another friend started to try to do some Pokemon Emerald stuff so that both of us could play each other and all that. Because that was before I found out about Pokemon Online and stuff like that. So that I didn't really get into hardcore going to tournaments and stuff, kind of competitive Pokemon, but I kind of got introduced into the competitive scene and stuff like that. And I would love to get really into competitive Pokemon because it's really fun for me having to come up with that much strategy and stuff like that. But I think it's just too small at this point really to really get into it and be able to do well, and I would have to do a lot of traveling and stuff like that, so I don't think I'll get into it. And he also says, why do My Little Pony? And that is because you are trolling me with My Little Pony. If you really, really honestly want to see me play My Little Pony, then that's one thing, but I think you guys are just asking for it because it's to troll me. And I'm completely okay with that because I am a troll myself, and I like to troll people every chance I get. So that's why I do not do My Little Pony. Anyways, I know I kind of rushed this, and I rambled on for quite a while about competitive Pokemon, and it didn't really go anywhere. But if you guys want to hear more about any of that stuff, let me know, and I'll go into more detail. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Rate the video if you feel it deserves a rating, whether it's good, bad, I don't care. Just go ahead and give it a dislike or a like, whichever one you feel it deserves. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you next time, guys. See ya.